Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel where we discuss all electric vehicle related news, and please subscribe to my channel before I go on to discuss whatever the news are. Subscribe to my channel, like the video so that you can remain updated about the latest electric vehicle ecosystem news, events and every other information that is out there. I try to do all my videos regularly, almost on daily basis, so please stay connected. Now let's move on to the big news which I have for you today. Do one thing, go to Jaguar's Indian website www.jaguar.in and you will see that they have released all the I-Pace variants on their website. Now Jaguar had announced that they will be launching in India. It's not clear when, but now they have launched all the variants of Jaguar I-Pace, that is their all electric SUV, on their website. I'll take you to their website, I'll share my screen and you can see how the car looks like. The one thing good about this website is that you can build your own models. You can decide the color, you can decide the visual pack, headlights, interiors. So this is what the car looks like. I'll just give you a 360-degree view. Very sleek, sporty SUV design, and obviously there is a Jaguar symbol, so you can choose your own color from here and make your own SUV here. There's a fun thing. Let's just change the color. Let's choose Fuji white. This is the Fuji white color, guys. So yep. All right, now what I'll do is I'll show you the interior. So this is what the interior platform looks like. Now there are two motors here. One is at the back, as you can see, and one is in the front. So that is what the platform is all like. And to go to the specification section now, you will be wondering what is the battery capacity. The battery capacity is 90 kilowatt hour, and the power it can produce, the engine can produce, is 294 kilowatt and a 696 Newton meter torque. So these are the specifications. About range, well, there is a section where they have discussed range. It's around 450 to 500 kilometers, which is similar to what we have in India, Hyundai Kona, and it's a good range per single charge. And as I have told that they have a 90 kilowatt hour battery, which means if you are using a 100 kilowatt DC charger, you can charge the battery to 80% within 45 minutes. So that is it. And about acceleration, it can go from 0 to 100 kilometers in 4.8 seconds. So that's one big news about today, about Jaguar. Now so that's one good thing. And let me remind you that this will be in competition with Mercedes-Benz EQ and Audi e-tron, both of which are scheduled to be launched in India. Now moving on to the next news, guys. The second news I have is from Government of India. Again, they have announced further launch of 670 e-buses and 241 charging stations. So again, 670 e-buses and 241 charging stations. Announcement has been made by Prakash Javadekar. This is under FAME 2. I have been saying this again and again that under FAME 2, an incentive of 10,000 crore was committed by the government. 1/10 of that amount was for charging station, that is around 1,000 crore. Now FAME 2 is being implemented from April 2019 to 2022, and it's a good news that that the government is really pushing out in favor of electric vehicles. Now let me remind you, some time back the Department of Heavy Industries also announced 520 charging stations for 43 crores in cities of Bangalore, Chandigarh, Jaipur and Delhi. So there is a series of charging stations being launched across the country, and this is just again a series of announcements that's coming up, which is a good thing. The more charging stations we have, the less range anxiety Indian consumers will have, and more prone will they be towards buying electric vehicles. Now moving on to the next news that I have, guys. Now guys, this news is All right, this news is about Amar Raja batteries and Excite. So definitely Indian customers or investors, especially because these are public companies, people have invested money, would be apprehensive that the lithium-ion batteries are coming up. So what is going to happen to these companies which produce lead acid batteries? So there is a report in livemint.com. It's a market analyst report, and what they are saying is that the share market price of Amar Raja and Excite remains unaffected right now because lithium ion battery is yet to pick up. Secondly, even if it picks up, manufacturers here most probably will import the parts and assemble the battery. Manufacturing the battery here looks pretty remote idea according to the person who has written this article. And thirdly, according to this report, it requires a lot of investment to establish a lithium ion factory. So that's a barrier to entry into this market. So, and the fourth point that they mention is that actually the demand for lead acid batteries right now is increasing because people are swapping their batteries for the older cars. So that's the point. But however, I would like to mention that if I was them, I would start evaluating lithium ion options right now. Moving on to the next news, guys, is again people's favorite news about Tesla entering India. A few days back, I have covered this in my last video as well, that Elon Musk tweeted that he will be entering into India next year definitely. And so what has happened is that Bangalore, or so to speak, Karnataka government has approached Tesla and urged them to build their gigafactory in Bangalore or around Bangalore, which will make electric vehicles and batteries. Now let me remind you that already Tesla has decided to make a research center in Bangalore. Now Karnataka government is approaching Tesla for establishing that. So that is a very good move by the state government, that they are proactively approaching Tesla or any company to establish the company. That's a really good move. And we'll have to see how much authenticity this news hold, and will there be any result, because as I had told you earlier also that this is not the first tweet. There was a tweet around 2-3 years back as well, where Musk had discussed about entering into India, but nothing happened. So that is something we will have to look forward to. And also I covered in my last video, you can check it out on my YouTube channel, that the cost will be a hindrance to Tesla. Why? Because Hyundai Kona, which offers around 500 kilometer range, is 28 lakhs. But if Tesla completely goes a CBU way, completely built unit and imports it into India, the cost of the model will be around 40-50 lakhs, because that's what the price is in US, plus import duties and everything. Import duties have already went to 40% for CPU. The only good option will be to CKT, that is complete knockdown. You import the parts and assemble it, or completely manufacture it here. The price will be a struggle. We will have to see how Tesla actually fights this. So that's about the Tesla news, guys. Now moving on to the next piece of news, and that is actually it's about a company called Gayam Motorworks. Now Gayam Motorworks is more like an interview of the founder. It is on krasia.com website, and you can find it out. So what they do is that they make different vehicles, electric vehicles. Now they have pivoted primarily to making carrier e-vehicles, and on the article they claim that they sold around 8,000 pieces, and to people like Big Basket and Flipkart. So what's interesting I liked in this particular article is that initially they were into building a lot of different kind of models, but eventually they realized that use case of electric vehicles, one very important use case lies in the delivery market, and that's why they have pivoted to delivery market and catering to these guys. And If you have seen my video where I've done a review of daily EV policy, they have also made mention of e-cart, e-carriers and e-rickshaws for the incentive, because in India, primarily two-wheeler and three-wheeler will be the deciding factor. They will be the carrier of electric vehicle revolution. Four-wheelers might catch up after a delay. So it's a good pivot, I believe, from the startup. And as you can see in the image, there's their three-wheelers carriers, which they have designed specifically to meet delivery needs. And that's a good thing. That's actually learning for all of us, and they are actually looking to raise money for Series A this year. So good luck to them. Moving on to the next news item, guys, which is a report. And this article is a report from TERI, TERI, that's a renewable energy agency. And what it has done is, the report's name is DISCOM's perspective on viable EV network. So what they have done is, they have tried to think about what contribution a DISCOM will have to bring into this EV ecosystem. Because I have stated this in my previous videos as well, that involvement of DISCOM will be required in case you are establishing a heavy DC or AC charger at a facility. You will have to get DISCOM. If you want to get incentive, you will have to involve DISCOM. If you want to install a separate meter for the charging station, whether it's public, semi-public or professional or personal, you will have to involve the DISCOM. So that's why DISCOM involvement is important. And also one thing which very interesting thing comes out is that which I have not thought about. Now I just read it and I really it struck me that many people are thinking of installing charging station as petrol pump, but once you install charging station at petrol pump, you will need permission under Indian Explosives Act 1884, because you are installing something high voltage near a flammable item. And that's one learning which came out of this article. And so yep, you can go and read this article. I'll put the link in description, and it's on sourenergy.com. You can find it on that website, or you can just search it by name, that is DISCOM perspective on a viable EV network. Now guys, moving on to the next news is more like a survey. It is on carvali.com, and what they have done is that they have done a survey of around 1,000 people. And one interesting finding that has come is that 52% of the people, potential car buyers, have said that they would prefer they believe that electric cars are viable. And one important thing is that majority of the people will consider electric over CNG. So that's a good news, that people have started considering electric as an option, and definitely started seeing value in electric vehicles. Now moving on to the next news, guys, is alright, and the next news is that different auto vehicle manufacturers are actually looking for GST cuts from government. That's definitely in the times of corona, but we don't know whether government will do that or not. And there is some small snippets that in UP there is a power employee strike, because probably government is emulating, or at least anticipating, about privatization of electric vehicle, privatization of electricity power transmission in Uttar Pradesh. Some international news, guys, that EV battery maker Romeo Systems is going to go public through a 1.3 billion SPAC deal. Now why I'm telling you this is because this shows that you can raise funding by going public, and definitely there is interest in market in EV ecosystem. And recently this year, Nikola, that is the electric truck manufacturer, also went public. Apart from this, one more international news, guys, that Beijing market is actually going very, very good. Its sales has risen 11.6%, and in India also, I have covered in my last video that the sales figures are catching up post corona, or at least in the last leg. So that's about international news, guys. So these are all the news item and insights that I had to discuss today. So that's it for today. Do like and subscribe to this channel if you want to stay connected to all the recent happenings in EV ecosystem in India. So see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.